Hey guys, welcome back to Out of Order. We're so glad you're here. We've been sharing a mix of silly videos and old memories of our dog Alice. February would have been her 9th birthday, as well as her 2 years that she's been gone. She was such a huge part of our family, and she walked through so many hard seasons with us. She was the best dog, and anyone that knew her loved her. Today is a hard one. It's very heavy and it's really not easy to talk about. Before we go any further, we want to give a heads up. This video includes discussions of mental health, thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore, and family conflict. If you're not in a good place to hear that right now, or if you're here for the lighter stuff, this video may not be for you, and that's okay. We also want you to know that if you're watching this and you're in a place where you don't feel like you want to be here anymore, please reach out to someone. Tell anyone. You don't have to carry that alone, and if someone ever comes to you and tells you that they don't want to be here anymore, please take them serious and don't brush them off. Don't just assume that someone's looking for attention. Listen, stay with them, help them get support. Sometimes people just want to be heard. We also know that sharing all of this, some just won't understand why we'd be so open about our life. But for us, clarity matters more than staying quiet just to make other people comfortable. It's not about blaming anyone or saying that we did everything right, because clearly after you watch this video, you'll see we did not. This is not the moment when our estrangement started. This is just a snapshot of one day where 3 people experienced the same moment very differently because none of us were holding the same information. That day, I was in a very dark place. It just seemed like no matter what I did or didn't do, I was making everyone around me unhappy. Rocco was doing everything he could do to keep me here. In the middle of it, our daughter called and wanted to stop by. We went straight into parent mode because we didn't want her to know what was happening. What followed was a reaction that was loud and painful. Words were said that I know weren't meant the way they landed, but I can only imagine for her it had to have felt like hurtful, scary, confusing. From my side, everything seemed to have collapsed at once. I watched my daughter pull away, and it felt like everything I ever believed about myself had just been proven in that one moment, that my pain was hurting the people I loved. I wanted to run after her, but I didn't because I was afraid anything I said or did would only make things worse, and at the same time, saying nothing made it feel worse. Then I looked at Rocco and realized he was standing there holding something no one ever talks about, watching his wife want to disappear right in front of him, all while watching him watch his daughter walk away, and I'm sure she thought he was a monster. I wondered in that moment, was he thinking, does anyone see me? Does anyone care that I'm hurting too? That's why I say we all walked away holding something different. Recently, I've seen 2 stories about 2 moms who were hurting so deeply while trying to navigate their estrangement, and they didn't make it through. It doesn't have to just be the parents. I'm sure that there's adult children that feel that same way. Everyone matters, no matter what's happened, no matter what someone did or didn't do, no matter how complicated the story is. Life's so fragile and we only get one. People can be here one moment and gone the next, and I know that personally. I've lost a best friend, I lost both my parents and my father-in-law all suddenly. I know it all too well. This isn't about telling our daughter's story or even our side of the story. It's about showing how moments can fracture when people don't have the same context, even when love is present. And when I think about that day, I sometimes wonder if that's what it feels like for God, loving his children so deeply, reaching for them and watching them listen to fear instead of love, watching his kids believe the worst about themselves when all he wants is for them to know how deeply they're loved, just like earthly parents.
God, I thought I trusted you. My breath coming out too thin, I'm not trying to stay here. And it was hurting him within. She called, we pulled ourselves together. He opened the door, saw her standing there. He was hoping it would be enough to pull me back from that edge. I kept whispering, God, do you see this? Why will you feel so far from me? Do you hear us, God, when words run out? When love feels heavier than we can hold? We're not trying to wound each other more than we already have, but we don't know how to repair this. God, please heal our souls. Are you really here, God? Why can't we feel your hand? How do we fix all that's broken? Teach our hearts to understand. Yeah, she didn't know what he was carrying. Yeah, when he opened the letter in, was anger all she heard, not his fear from trying to keep me alive. Everything felt like it was pouring out. His words landed harder, and I watched her turn and leave, carrying that version of us I wish she never had to believe. I saw her walk away wounded, and I saw him collapse inside. I just stood there knowing anything I said would only widen the divide. There's more than what we see, more than one truth in that same moment. We all saw it different. We were trying to survive when no one else noticed. God, is this how you feel with us? When we listen to the lie instead of you? When your love is reaching out, but all we hear is fear. talking louder than your truth. She hear his fear that night instead of the love he thought he had given. Did she feel the weight he tried to hide and how much he had felt? It was like watching two trains collide. He thought love was speaking, but his pain got the first, and it crashed into a heart like a wreck we never saw coming. Did you hold her, God, when she drove away? Did she feel loved at all? Was he scared to go back? And he knew I just wanted it all to end. God, hold us all in this silence. Give us one more chance. Give us the tools for repair. We can't rewrite that day. We need you to carry our pain until somehow, someday, love finds its way back again. Please, God, let her know we love her.
All the time. Kind of like when, I don't know if you know this, but I did some shopping for Valentine's Day.
Rocco's got his list. Surely he can't miss a thing.
Valentine's week.
Come on, let's get going. Let's Valentine's Day shop with Rocco. Tell me how we stop and stop. Play heart shake boxes in the card we drop. Let's Valentine's Day shop with Rocco. Candy kisses, cards that glitter. Saving all his coupons. Big time shopper. First the candy,
I don't
get
want
red.
to
No doubt.
How do I know what my gift is?
You don't want to know what your gift is. I love you.
Why do we have glasses on? Why do you have glasses?
Metaphor. Just a way to say, hey, this is how I see things, and with your glasses, how you see things. The little things like that would really help in relationships. There's always two sides to every story.
Your side, and my side.
Yeah.
It's got two sides to it.
So for me, I am a visual learner. I feel also not really. I don't think. No, I'm really not. But it's hard for me to explain things. So I feel like I do better by giving an example of something. You obviously have on blue lens, and mine are pink. And here's a white piece of paper. And to you,
It's
this
blue.
looks blue. To me, it looks pink. But the fact is, it's really white. Or we could take our glasses off, both see it as white, or we could switch glasses. I see why you see it's blue. If only life were that easy. I feel like that is a perfect example of estrangement because I feel like both sides are very real, and that is what that person sees, feels, experiences, whatever. And then there's also usually fact. People are always trying to find which side is, well, who's the right one. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong. I don't even like to call it sides. I feel like there's perspectives.
That's the one thing that I've learned in this life journey is that my way is not always the right way.
Usually not at all.
Yeah. In our relationship, it's your way is always the right way.
It's easy in any situation. If you want to, you can find negative in it. Or if you want to, you can find positive in it. I don't think people do better by giving an example of something. You obviously have on blue lens, and mine are pink. And here's a white piece of paper. And to you,
It's
this
blue.
looks blue. To me, it looks pink. But the fact is, it's really white. Or we could take our glasses off, both see it as white, or we could switch glasses. I see why you see it's blue. If only life were that easy. I feel like that is a perfect example of estrangement because I feel like both sides are very real, and that is what that person sees, feels, experiences, whatever. And then there's also usually fact. People are always trying to find which side is, well, who's the right one. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong. I don't even like to call it sides. I feel like there's perspectives.
That's the one thing that I've learned in this life journey is that my way is not always the right way.
Usually not at all.
Yeah. In our relationship, it's your way is always the right way.
It's easy in any situation. If you want to, you can find negative in it. Or if you want to, you can find positive in it. I don't think people set out to hurt other people.
I agree with that.
I think most people have good intentions. It just doesn't always come out that way,
We're just giving perspective from a mom and a dad.
and how it's affected us as a couple.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for anybody but us.
Yeah.
The scenario that we want to talk about is hard on both sides. If it were me and it happened with my parents, I would be very upset about it. And I don't think we ever shared with our child what happened prior in depth about that situation. I don't think a lot of people that know us know about that situation. It isn't a very good light for us. We were wrong. I think it was around Mother's Day of 2020. My mom's passing was a year that December, 2008 or 19. That full year was really hard.
Yeah.
Just from losing my mom and then having to deal with everything that you have to deal with when somebody passes away. And we moved in the middle of it. And I know for myself, emotionally I spiraled. And I thought I had good control over it. But I know that after that Christmas, things just got really hard. And it was a really just, I don't know what made that day harder than any other day, but it was hard. And
it could have been any day. It didn't have to be a calendar special day. It could have been just a Wednesday or a Saturday. You've been struggling. Losing your mom was unexpected. To even after your mom passed, that just trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? And a lot of the burden, it goes back onto you and your siblings to make sure everything is taken care of. Got a little crazy.
yeah. I don't know what set me off, but I just remember that it was just harder that day and I didn't want to be here anymore. And I felt like that a lot of days, but this particular day, I didn't want to be here anymore at all. There was I was having a lot of self-doubt, thinking I'm just making everyone miserable around me. And there were people that said that to me. I started to believe that I'm never going to feel better, so I'm just making you miserable, so you'll be better off. We don't have to get into detail, but it was pretty traumatic. And we weren't arguing as in like fighting with other. You were fighting with me.
Yeah. Or to even think about it. And
you were freaking out inside, also scared, but also I think, hello, what about me? I feel like you might have been feeling that. We got a call from our child wanting to drop by, and immediately, boom, we just turned it off, and we were like, okay, we didn't even
Life
say
is
it to
great.
each other. Yeah, it's just, I think we were so used to doing that because we went to the door and there was a comment made that just hit you differently.
Yeah.
Because of what had just happened, it hit you harder. And your response wasn't very good.
it was not very good. It was horrible. Not just that morning of seeing you sticking your head deeper and deeper into the sand. And as a husband, hearing that really hurts. We're born to try to fix things. And I couldn't fix that. Even a heart surgeon couldn't fix your heart. It was really tough. When our daughter came over, like you said, we said, oh, life is great. I greeted her with, hey, come on inside.
That's a tough situation too, but we've always struggled with, do we tell our kids this or do we not tell them? Because we don't want to put the burden on them, but also...
I think every parent does that. And I failed that day. I failed many days.
It really hurts me for you and it hurts me for her because I feel like it was just a train wreck that just it was just colliding and there was no stopping it. What happened afterwards, I'll let you tell whatever you want to tell. And
yeah, let's just go through it from our lenses. And as a father, I feel horrible. You don't know what somebody's going through.
As much as she didn't know what was going on with us, we didn't know what was going on. And it doesn't have to be something tragic either.
I was like, no, you need to come in. I couldn't fix that. Her and you. I thought, if you just come in, we'll talk about it.
I think you probably also thought if I could see her or be with her that it would have pulled me out from just for that
Absolutely.
moment.
Absolutely. At that time, I was getting upset. Like, why won't you come in? Why won't you come in?
I think it also escalated quickly because of what was happening. If it were me and I had walked up to that, I would think, ooh, what in the heck is going on? Like, why are you coming at me like that? And then it just got worse from there.
Yeah, it did. You know what? You're right. I wasn't in the right mindset to deal with anything other than getting you to feel like, hey, you know what? There is going to be another day and we're going to get through this together. Somehow we are. So instead of coming in, she brought a gift. It was a couple bagels. Anything, any words coming out of my mouth was not going to be good. I told her to lose my number, and I ended up throwing the bagels towards her.
I remember, and if I had to say, she probably remembers. If my dad were to have said those words to me, it would stick with me. It was not good. And after she left, now she's going to really hate us. You probably hate me even more. And I just wanted to, it was a horrible day.
Yeah, it was. I didn't control myself. I didn't think through it. I didn't think of how she would have felt. To me, I'm like, we're mom and dad.
It's hard when you're in that situation. Or if somebody ends up not wanting to be here and they're successful with it, people are always like, I wish they would have told me. But then also, people do tell, and then people just think you want attention. Knowing what to do, especially when it's your own child. Never wanted my kids to worry about us. Now that we're older and we look back and we've talked to, like, our oldest one especially, we've figured out some of the things we thought we were shielding from them actually ended up hurting them, but we thought it would be worse by them knowing everything.
Yeah.
And I think this situation was that way. Like, I often wonder if we would have just said, hey, let me tell you what's going on with mom. I don't know. Would it have been better to do that, or would they have thought we're trying to manipulate them? And anyone would feel, I'm not saying just her, but it's just hard. And I just feel like it was one of those times where I think no matter what we would have done, no matter how we would have reacted, I just think it was just going to be bad. And I don't know if that's something that bothers her, but it bothers me as her mom and your wife.
There definitely was some things going on that led up to that. It wasn't just out of the blue. There was other things that were, I didn't even know where some of the stuff was coming from, because the relationship a lot different than what I was receiving. It's really hard when you're going through something right then and there. You don't always make the right decisions. You don't say the right things.
My parents were like your own parents. You knew them for so long, so losing my mom was hard for you too.
Yeah.
And then watching me go through it. And I already lost my dad, so I still feel like an orphan. Oh my gosh, my parents aren't here. And I felt lost.
And the world was upside down.
I don't remember if we've talked about that day.
Yeah.
In my head, I feel like we have, but I think it's because I've talked about it so much with my therapist that I don't remember if I've talked to her about it. It made me hurt for her to drive away like that, but it also made me hurt for you, because I felt like you were like, what the heck just happened? Like, my wife she didn't care enough about me that she wants to be here anymore, and then I just hurt my daughter and she drove off or whatever. And
I think about it all the time. At all.
Show that two really bad things can be happening, and they don't even know about the other. And I'm sure if you asked her, story would be completely different, and rightfully
Sure.
as ours was, because she didn't know about all this over here. And I'm not saying that would make her feel differently. It is just what it is. And
she was always my best buddy. I love her. All the things that we did, being goofy, pretending to be mannequins, to going shopping and traveling and doing some. I think in my head, I was just, where's this coming from? things were changing. I'm like, what is going on?
Do you think that, I feel like sometimes when I think back on the year, I think I was in such turmoil in my own head of everything. I was trying to figure out how to be a grown-up, feeling like I'm a child, losing my mom, that I didn't really know what my role was anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle some things. And that was the year that, or the year prior to that, she moved away and she had just been back from college, and I wanted my kids around all the time. And our oldest one was off doing stuff, so we didn't see her often. And then losing my mom, and then our youngest moved away, and then it ended up being we moved, and then it was a year for my mom, and it just felt like it just felt like loss after loss in my mind. But as a mom, like you have to process. We still are human beings, and we have feelings, and sometimes we forget that our parents are human and that that's their first time being whatever age they were too. Like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And now there's so much. Sometimes I'm like, people are lucky to live in this world where they have all these extra things to help them be whoever they want to be. But then on the other hand, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm not a young mom raising kids now. But it just wasn't the same growing up. And my parents were very quiet. Like they didn't talk about their feelings so I just feel like I didn't know how to process a lot of things.
I don't know anybody that does, but at the end of the day, everything that is being said sometimes could just come across as we're just laying out excuses for what happened or how you were feeling. Mm-hmm. And whether it's right or not, what was going on in your situation that day and many days prior to that, those also sound like excuses to a lot of people. It's, oh, you're just trying to get attention. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting older. I want my family around me. As things were changing then and things were happening with you, and I'd talk to her on the phone about you, and then I would talk to you, and I also felt like I was being pulled from both. My wife, this is how I feel, and my daughter saying, this is how I feel. It got a little crazy. And I know that when something affects you, other people are also hurt for her because they care about her. It's good for me to be able to talk about why I was wrong, so we wear these glasses as a metaphor, but I wish I had that back then. I wish I could have just picked up a pair of glasses and say, okay, I know how today's gonna go.
But I think you're hard on yourself. As much as I agree with everything you're saying, I've been your wife for a long time, and I've learned a lot of things about you. And one thing that I struggle with as your wife is when I get upset, I usually cry, shut down. When you get upset, whether it's hurt, mad, it doesn't matter, your reaction is totally different.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, it comes off as you're loud, you're aggressive, you're whatever, all those words. And I think you take that on. That's who you are. I don't know how to process it sometimes. If people just knew that about you, they might see it differently.
I feel it inside myself.
If me today could go talk to me then, I think I would have gone after her. Please, can we just talk? I feel like this is not going good, and I feel like let's just have a conversation. I'm not saying it would have made it all go away, but when you don't have conversations with people and you just walk away, there's too many assumptions, and then your mind starts wondering, so you build this whole thing in your mind, and I'm sure that happened in their mind, and are on top of really what happened that really didn't happen. The longer you don't talk about things, the bigger it becomes. It's uncomfortable, so we'll pretend it didn't happen, and then back up the next time something happens. But our minds were like, oh, I remember, see, happened again, here we go again. And I think if it's somebody you really love and care about, you should at least have conversation about it. I don't understand why there can't be communication about it. And that's hard for us. I don't even think it's necessarily talking about the whys or whatever. It's just, how come we can't talk about it? That's the hardest part for us.
Inside, we're hurting because we have zero communication.
Just her funny stuff. Like she just was funny. Like as much as we want to talk about how much we miss or we're sad or whatever, it makes me sad because I'm like, how does she feel? Does she feel like everybody's walked away from her? Like, that, as her mom, that makes my heart hurt.
I know it does.
And I don't want her to hurt. I've always wanted my kids to be happy. I will always want them to be loved. I've always said, as long as you're happy and whoever you're with loves you, that's all I care about. Just be happy and be loved.
Yeah.
And I do think she's loved.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that because I think that would be hard if I didn't feel that way. But I do feel she is.
I agree.
And I don't want her to feel like she doesn't have any family. That's hard for me as her mom. I don't know that's what she thinks. It's just hard because I know that she doesn't talk to any of us.
At all. I made some really bad decisions and I said some really bad things.
But
Maybe part of me was that she was growing up and wanting to put her wings on and move on. And
I don't feel like you were that dad that didn't let their kids grow up. I don't think that was you.
no, I encouraged them. There was things that
You didn't
I knew
know.
that you didn't know. And I would say, go do it. Be young. Go do these things. What I struggled with was the relationship changed.
Also, as much as we want to sound like we were all wrong either, because I think you are a great dad. And those two little girls were very lucky to have you as a dad. I love my dad. Like he was a great dad, but I didn't get to lay on the floor and put makeup on my dad and put bows in his hair or go play whatever game outside. Or you were there for every single thing our girls did, everything. And not because you had to, you wanted to. You were always at the practices, you were always at the games, you were always involved. You were the best cheer dad at all of the events. I would be sitting back going, I'm scared, and you're up there doing the whole routine. Or at any sport that our kids did. And even with you traveling and we had zero money, you never didn't do for your kids. And this is the part of me where, like, the wife in me wants to tell those kids, you don't understand what your dad did for you. Coming from parents that having kids so young that their lives could be completely different. The fact that you went to college and you weren't handed anything and you worked really hard. You do work really hard. As much as that day really sucked, I don't want you to feel like that is a representation of who you are as a person or a dad.
I appreciate that. I really do. And I think the world of you as a mom. My mom is the best mom. She would say, no, Kristen Sweets is the best mom. And I believe that. I just want to say, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Not looking for, the other day you were good. I failed my own child. And I'm really sorry. And that's it.
I get it, but I think what I've learned this last year, especially in my therapy, I have been hurt too, and it's okay to say that out loud. Even though I'm the mom, I was hurt too. And it doesn't make us wrong for feeling that way.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really dumb for us to act like everything was perfect how we were treated. So
We have feelings too.
we do. It's not like our kids are in middle school or whatever. They're adults. Things have happened that our feelings were hurt. And some of them we've talked about, some of them we haven't. So as much as our hearts break that we would have hurt either of our children in any way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
we have been hurt.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to say that. I don't think that means that you're agreeing with the things you did wrong. It's still okay to say you were hurt. It doesn't,
Yeah.
neither one cancels the other one out. Make it sound like we're doormats. As much as I love my kids, I feel like I've really learned a lot about myself, and I don't know what the switch was, but I have to recognize that I have to look out for me too. And this kind of grief is harder than the grief that I've gone through with losing my best friend or my parents, because there's no ending to it. And I know my mom's never coming back. I know my dad's never coming back. But this is, oh my gosh, what if I run into them at the store? What if there's just all of these things that, what if this, or what if that, or if my phone rings? You just got to give it time. This isn't one of those where you just give it time, because every second that passes as a mom, I think about, well, now I've missed that. Oh, now I miss that. Now I miss that. I miss this. I miss that. And you'll never get it back.
Yeah.
And it's just a different feeling. This kind of grief is not easy. None of them are easy, but this one I feel like has rocked us more than anything I've ever gone through.
Yeah.
I don't think God goes, I'm going to make you pay. I think he takes, when we walk through hard things, he does use it for his good. And like our situation, I don't think that he's not in control of it. I think he absolutely is. And I think he absolutely knows what's going to happen. Whatever's supposed to happen is the way it's supposed to be, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's hard, as I want to sit here and go, oh yeah, I know it'll eventually be better. But the reality, and this has been very hard that I've had to tell myself, is that it might not ever be better in the way I want.
The more we talk about it, even though there's other people involved, I'm learning from
I told our oldest recently, I'm like, you know what? As hard as it's been, there are times where I'm like, maybe I should send them, both girls, a thank you card, because in the weirdest kind of way, they did us a favor, because I feel like we've learned a lot about ourselves. I feel like we've bettered ourselves already, and our relationship is better. We're younger in the sense that, like, our kids, like this stage of life, a lot of them still, there are people that still have kids in college at our age. I'd rather enjoy you at this age than at 17. We didn't have any money. We didn't have any. This is so much more fun to live life with you right now and to act like we're kids. And some people might think we're absolutely immature, but we are having so much fun together. As much as we're hurting, we also have been having fun. Yeah. So it's Valentine's Day this weekend.
Yeah.
Your mom's coming and some other family are coming, and we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day.
That sounds like fun. I will say this, Valentine's Day is my favorite.
It should be. All right, until next time.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
God, do you?
Sweet.
Why do you feel so?
Oh my God! Are you
Do you
serious?
hear a sky when word is falling out? When love feels heavier than we can hold, when I'm trying to hold each other more than we already have.
And 3, 2,